Hi Kiwi! Alright, we are back at another episode of Pokemon Shining Pearl. Today I'm gonna ramble about Gen 2. Or actually, yeah, well let's do a little bit of Gen 2 and then we can double back on Gen 1 since they're kind of inextricably linked. First off, I think overall I had all three versions of the Gen 2 games. We of course had Gold, Silver, and Crystal version, and Crystal version was such an exciting upgrade to the original series. I've been traveling around the world chasing stories on mysteries. It's made me pretty tough. Because, so, it was the first time Pokemon sprites had any form of animation, and it was such an exciting addition to the game for me as a kid, just seeing the Pokemon move on screen instead of just being static images. I know it's kind of like a superficial, this was really cool sort of thing, but it was such a monumental change for kid Jeff to see that outside of the Pokemon Stadium games, where obviously there were substantial amounts of animation going on there. I'm a little worried the Shieldon knows a ground type move, but I think I can take it out with Flame Wheel. Actually, which has the better damage? Flame Wheel has more damage. Okay, that's the one we're gonna go with. We'll see. Ooh, it survived. Okay, we're fine. I was a little concerned that I was going to use like Magnitude, or it probably doesn't know Dig, but Magnitude I could see it knowing. Maybe even Bulldoze. Anyway, so what was I saying? So animations aside, also the big glow up that Crystal version had was an enhanced story where you followed around, I forget his name, but I can see his image in my head, but this guy who was obsessed with Suicune, and so the entire story is kind of centered around this guy's journey and relationship to Suicune a little bit. I mean, obviously Suicune is just a untethered to the ground Pokemon that runs away at every chance, but it's just showing up here and there, and it was pretty cool. That's a downer. But I will say Gen 2 did introduce one of my least favorite mechanics in the entire Pokemon series, and that is namely legendary Pokemon that run away and you have to chase around the world map. I have always hated that mechanic because it is so cumbersome and inconvenient to reliably catch those Pokemon. You have to sleep them and hope that they don't move. And that means you need a Pokemon that's faster than them, and these are legendary Pokemon with really high base stats.
To find my favorite Pokemon, I'll go east, west, or any which way.
And it was, oh my goodness, Kiwi. Just tracking them down on the map, I am very thankful that the mini maps would show you where they were, because if you couldn't find them that way, they would just show up, be like, and then run away, and you couldn't do anything about it. And honestly, at the time of unlocking them, sometimes that was the case no matter what you did. Oh, this is a water type. We don't want a Buizel fighting this, so let us switch out to... I don't have enough Thunderbolts, and that's damaging. I think, you know, we have not had a chance for Captain Squawk to shine in a while. Let's let Captain Squawk do his old business of knocking out every water Pokemon that comes his way. Pressure Wake, we're calling you out. Captain Squawk is going to carry us through that. Except you do have some ground types, and I'm going to be afraid of them if they have Earthquake. Anyway, with all it said. What did I want to say? They followed up with it with the Lati twins in Gen 3 and so on and so forth, and they've had some iteration of it ever since, and I have never ever enjoyed that mechanic. I want the Pokemon in my encounters to stay in my encounter until the encounter has ended. Either I faint or they get captured or faint themselves. That way I can save and quit and save scum if things go wrong. But it is what it is. Like, from a casual gameplay perspective, I think it's a cool mechanic. I do respect it as a design choice. I just personally hate it. That said, the other cool modification that they made to Crystal version that I can remember, aside from an aesthetic choice and a mechanical choice, granted that mechanical choice existed in Gold and Silver as well, I believe. The other thing was the first iteration of the Battle Tower, where you fight wave after wave of trainers and get points that can be spent on various consumable or held items that were relevant to competitive or casual play. And I think back in the day, I tried and I couldn't get past like the first 7 streak. It was so hard for me because I had no sensibilities about what Pokemon were competitively or even casually viable.
But they're my most favorite Pokemon.
I keep forgetting what voices I give these guys going in and then give them a different voice going out. Oh, we're catching another wild Pokemon, it seems. What have we got here? I did have a chance of fighting a Geodude here. Okay, I have a really big complaint about Gen 4 now, and that's aside from the lack of fire-type Pokemon that are available, it is the overabundance of Geodude. It's getting annoying now, honestly. Like, I am fed up with the sheer volume of Geodude we are forced to fight and have as our first encounter. Anyway, I don't need to whine about this. I'd rather gush about other things. But let me voice my complaint once here. Anyway, so the Battle Tower, it's basically Kiwi for context. It was, you have to choose, I think, 3 Pokemon. If they're above level 50, they get rounded down to level 50. If they're below level 50, they keep their current level. So you needed to make sure the Pokemon you're entering were at minimum level 50. And then you chose those 3 Pokemon, and you would face trainer after trainer with their own set of 3 level 50 Pokemon. And your Pokemon were healed in between battles, so there was no like carrying over of damage or status ailments or anything of that nature. But those challenges added up, and it was hard to get so many consecutive wins because you could sometimes get an enemy that had a team that just objectively countered yours.
This area seems to be very mystifying, and that's the sense I get. To show you what I mean, I'll battle with the Pokemon I found.
But it was still fun, and I definitely remember banging my head against it for a fair few attempts before I realized I think this is above my pay grade. I am not capable of beating this in the capacity that I would like to. But the games, what else can I say there? So looks like we're going to be fighting more rock types. So this is Manny the Dude Buster's time to shine, and I guess let's use Muddy Water and see if we get that first hit, because I'm convinced it's going to miss. Because it's going to miss at a crucial moment at least once in this playthrough, Kiwi, if not multiple times. I don't care about the speed loss. Gastrodon's already really slow. All right. I very much distinctly remember the plot line around the Steel-type gym leader Jasmine's Ampharos that helped not guard, but like was the functionality of the lighthouse's light. It was sick, and we needed to get it medicine. I don't care what form of media it is. If there is a story about a sick animal, I'm gonna like get very, very emotionally attached to the story very quickly. I mean, I have not played Scarlet and Violet, but I was watching, I think, Point Crow on YouTube. I was watching his playthrough of Scarlet and Violet, and he's following the plot line of how Maspustiff, I think its name is, his Pokemon, his big, cute dog Pokemon is sick, and he's feeding this Pokemon the Herba Mysticas from the various Titan Pokemon dens to try and get it healed back up into functionality. That's the correct word. To heal it back into full health. And at the end of that journey, when it's back to like being able to stand and interact, and it just approaches him with the Pokeball in its mouth with these little doggy eyes and the gentle wagging tail. Oh my goodness, it broke my heart, Kiwi. I am a simpleton when it comes to animal-related narratives. If you're a bad guy and you punch a dog or like kick a dog or any animal, frankly, you are immediately an irredeemable monster in my eyes in those movies. And like, I mean, it's like the lowest hanging fruit to make a bad guy convincingly a bad guy. Let's be honest. But oh my goodness, like there is no redemption if you cause harm to another animal in a movie, in a show, in a game. You are on my shit list, and I am gonna hunt you down and make your life miserable. All right, I will give Muddy Water its credit where it's due. It has hit twice in a row now, which is a new record for me. I mean, anyone who's played competitive and has run those moves like Focus Blast, Thunder, Blizzard, they understand. Like this has a 15% higher accuracy than those moves, and it just feels like they never hit sometimes.
I can't win with Pokemon that I'm not familiar with.
The cadence on that was miserable. Oh well. I'll have to remember that Pine Tree did evolve in a previous episode, so when we get to a PC, we'll have to fodder an evolution, or we'll have to fodder one of our usable Pokemon into the as evolution, consumed by evolution. Let's see. Okay, so this is the Ruin Maniac's lair. So we've accessed all the areas that we missed. We've cleared out this route for all the trainers. There's just one pickupable item over here that I still need to grab. But that shouldn't be an issue. We might encounter another wild Pokemon, which, place your bets, Kiwi. Is it going to be a Geodude? Is it going to be a Giraffey? Or is it going to be something new for a change? I have my expectations set very low. If we even get the encounter at all. I'm going to take the grassless route for now, although, is there anything over here? I'll have to check that bottom left corner and make sure there's not an item I can pick up. All right, doesn't seem it. Cool, we made it unscathed. On to Route 213. This is suspicious. Why is there a random hole in the gate? Well, nothing there, but you can't help but be suspicious about that, right? Valor Lakefront. Oh, okay. I forgot about the lake. So in Gen 4, there are 3 kind of spirity type Pokemon, Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit. For some reason, my brain is telling me that there's a 4th one, but I don't think there is. I don't know. My brain is doing everything in Pokemon is in 4s, if not 3s, but that doesn't hold true at all. We've got the legendary dogs, the legendary birds, the Reggies, although technically Regigigas does actually throw that out the window. Well, this is a new area. Let's see what we're going to catch. Another Giraffey. I don't actually know if I can find any new Pokemon in this area, so please bear with me as I do once again another quick Google search to confirm, do I catch this Giraffey as evolution fodder or not? Alright, this time Google has informed me that I do not have to spend 2 hours hunting for a single Pokemon that I'm not hoping to find. Oh no, the Joy-Con drift. Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to do something here. Unplug my controller, please. Oh, it's the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are live, Kiwi. My controller, I removed the battery from my controller so that it wasn't taking control of this, so now I know it is a Joy-Con that has gone rogue. Oh, there. Please hold. All right, hopefully that didn't mess with the recording at all. But my Joy-Cons plugged into the console were going rogue on me, and really wanted to be the deciding factor in what I do in this battle, but I'm not running. I'm flame wheeling this Giraffey. If it gets one shot, oh well. If it doesn't, we catch it. All right, we catch it. Anyway, that kind of sort of reset my brain, but I can probably follow the thread that I was talking on before. Nope, it's gone. All right, let's keep talking about Gen 2. So what was my team that I can remember from Gen 2? Well, I know for certain that my favorite Pokemon of Gen 2 was Ampharos. I had Ampharos and I had a female Raichu that I absolutely loved. All right, here's another weird one. Welcome to the team Kerplapbrook. All right, Kerplapbrook is going to the bank as well. He will also be used as evolution fodder, much like, what was it? Fasafufasaf. Yes, Fasafufasaf. Try and say that name 5 times fast. Fasafufasaf. Fasafufasaf. Anyway, Kerplapbrook. I'm getting to the point where these names are unpronounceable. No matter. All right, we've got some scientists guarding the lakefront. Let's see, do you guys want to fight?
We've been asked to keep everyone out of the lake area. Reason I'm not too sure, but apparently to protect the lake.
Something tells me you guys are not protecting this lake. No matter. Oh, it looks like we are coming upon a city, or a town of some sort. Marsh Stomp City, or not Marsh Stomp City. We're not triggering anything? I guess this is just a little Valor Lakefront town then. How does one get to that item over there? Oh, there's a little rock climbing wall, I see.
What am I supposed to do? I've gone and dropped my sweet key somewhere again. The hotel people won't be happy with me. I'm sure I had it when I left the reception counter earlier.
I bet that's it right there. Why don't you just jump over these, like, I could clear these hedges. I have some Pokemon that could clear these hedges, frankly. If I can use cut on dying trees, I can use it on living trees too. Although I guess the town would be a little bit more upset about that. Are you here to tell me I'm not allowed to progress further this way?
Stop, yes, you. Sunnyshore's city, which is down this road, had a major blackout.
Not so sunny anymore, is it, eh?
Crews are working on restoring power, but the road's closed now.
All right, well, I guess so much for that. I'm glad you told me the road's closed instead of someone who actually works on the repairs. Will we actually see any of the people who do those repairs? I'm being a little bit too particular about this, it's fine. 7 Stars Restaurant, more flavor than you can wish for. Given how I know restaurants tend to go in Pokemon games, we're gonna heal up before we go in here because there are gonna be a lot of hungry, fighty people. You know what's the perfect way to wait for a hot meal in a restaurant? Having animals fight each other on the premises. I'm sure the owners of these restaurants really love that in these tight dining spaces.
There's no need for technique. You just have to read what's in your opponent's heart. Now, when I say heart, I don't mean what a person is thinking. It's about how they want to be perceived. Would you like me to think of you as a tough trainer?
Sure, why not? Oh, okay. Oh, it's a double battle. P.I. Kendrick and Beauty Gabriella. I've read that just barely fast enough. All right, so they're hitting us with the double fish types. You know, the fish type Pokemon. There are a lot of those. There really are a lot of fish type Pokemon, at least in the terms of the breeding group category, but definitely not in the actual type. So we're gonna switch out Celesta Bethabel because we do not want any of that nonsense. I think let's play it safe and just switch out Manny the Dude Buster. He won't be able to do any serious damage here, but we don't really need to. I think if we take out Finneon, then the Goldeen carrier will have no other Pokemon, it'll be a 1v2 after that point, because Finneon's user only has the one. And I think if that's the case, then Captain Squawk can kind of carry the rest of the fight that way. I mean, carry the fight. We're 10 levels over these guys, for Pete's sake. The balancing on the trainer levels, if you fight everything, is a little bit off, to be honest. I've had a lot of other Pokemon games where I fight everything and I'm still afraid of being one-shot. Doesn't really feel that way in this game, unfortunately. Also, the AIs are just terrible. That Goldeen had Water Pulse and chose to use it on the Electric-type Pokemon instead of the Fire-type Pokemon. There's no saving these AIs, and that's part of the reason I think this fight has been maybe a little bit, this game as a whole has been far too forgiving. Here's my plan. Assuming this playthrough finishes before Legends AZ comes out, or ZA, or whatever the sequel, quote-unquote sequel to Legends Arceus. If that game comes out, that'll be what I play next, as far as Pokemon games go that are like actual battling mechanics. Pokemon Snap will probably happen somewhere in the interim of this, but if it doesn't come out in that time and I'm feeling still up for a Pokemon game, I will probably play Legends Arceus and do a Nuzlocke on that game. And I have heard Nuzlocking in Legends Arceus is horrifying. I'll probably do a standard Nuzlocke instead of the Jufflock rolls on that one, just because that just doesn't sound fun, let's be honest. Being forced to throw out Pokemon when they evolve, I don't know. I'll see what people have come up with for Nuzlocke rules in Legends Arceus and kind of tailor my experience based on those, probably. But with that said, we're still a reasonable ways away from me playing any other Pokemon game. I'm gonna finish this one first, if not mainly for the nostalgia of my previous favorite gen. Although I think my love of this generation is maybe dwindling a little bit.
My luck's run out.
You're a lucky one.
Oh, you guys play with luck? Were you depending on that confusion effect from your Water Pulse?
I had a bad feeling about this trainer.
Yeah, you should have. So are all of you guys just gonna be double battles? Here, this guy will probably, he has Pokeballs on his palette, or on his little serving dish. That's cute. All right, what have you got to say for yourself?
At our restaurant, you can enjoy more than just exquisite dining. You may also partake in battles. Bon appetit.
Oh, gosh, I pronounced that wrong.
Bon appetit. Bon appetit. Screw it. Tristan is not Italian, as you can clearly tell. All right.
I guess we're just gonna be fighting non-stop double battles, which, good for them. I would love for another game in the series to be doubles battle focused. Like the only games that really leaned into doubles battles, or double battles, was was the Coliseum games, and I would love to play those on this channel. I just don't really have a reasonable way. But if the NSO ever gets those games ported, you can trust me, I am going to play those games immediately, Kiwi, because I think you'd have fun with them. They're an interesting take on the Pokemon series, because you can steal your opponent's Pokemon.
There is no price too high for the sake of my art. That said, my oh my, these meals look awfully pricey. What is it? Are you feeling hungry too? Oh, I see. That's not it. You wanted a battle.
Yes. Well, at least they give us the option of fighting here. Man, this artist, these guys are bringing their hot dates to the table. It's cute that they. It looks like they're all like male-female pairs for the most part. I guess romantic couples is more what I mean. I don't care about the genders associated with it. Do what you wish on that front. Follow your heart. It's interesting that they're all like potentially romantic couples, although there's no commentary one way or the other. You're free to infer or assume as you wish. All right, what do we do here? So Psyduck could have Water Pulse, so I think once again, we're gonna send out Celestabetha, send in Pine Tree. It looks like this team is focusing on psychic types anyway, so U-turn will do a fair bit of damage, and we'll take out Psyduck with Spark so that we're in theory fine either way. Yeah, that should work. I guess I didn't have to switch out Celestabetha then, because she would have tanked. She wouldn't have gotten hit by a water type move in the first place. No matter. Well, we've gone on a lot of tangents. Let's get back on track to Gen 2. What else can I say about Gen 2? All right, legendary dogs. I thought the legendary dogs were, like, catching mechanics aside, I thought they were some of the coolest Pokemon. I actually, as a kid, I loved playing with Play-Doh. Kiwi, you're well aware that I've shared many stories about both playing and, let's not talk about it, but eating Play-Doh. This was back in the day before Play-Doh was so salty that it tasted disgusting. It was only salty enough that it tasted good to a kid, Jeff. But we've kind of established that Jeff has maybe a small history with Pika. We have to switch out Captain Squawk because he got confused. So we'll switch in Celestabetha so she can soak up some extra experience, I think. U-turn should knock out Mr. Mime in theory. But anyway, I made an Entei out of Play-Doh. I no longer have that because I had, like, you know how kids kind of create their own narratives of their toys? Well, I had the narrative that my Entei got corrupted and became this really gross monster. It basically looks like a flattened guinea pig made out of Play-Doh where its hair is just lumps of clay. I wish I had kept that Entei because, I mean, this may be nostalgia rose-tinted goggles tinting my memories, but I remember it looking actually pretty impressive for what a kid could do in sculpting.
Does this mean I'm only talented as an artist?
I think I have what it takes to become a successful model.
I'm glad that is your takeaway from this battle, ma'am. Clearly, it was worth your time.
My hors d'oeuvres.
I, for the longest time, did not realize this was pronounced hors d'oeuvres, so that is how I used to pronounce it as a kid.
My hors d'oeuvres have gone cold.
Anyway, all right, let's interrupt these guys' dinner for a fight as well. Although I guess given the hour, it's probably lunch.
Looks like our main...
We're giving every male in this restaurant the same voice. Hold on.
Looks like our main course is here. Please enjoy yourself. I've got the bill covered today.
Yeah, this is clearly a date.
I'll defeat you and collect the prize money.
All right, if you say so. You know, I should probably talk to some of the females in the couple because I've been initiating battle with all the men. And it feels a little tilted towards one side. No matter. What else? Where was I? So, okay. Of the legendary dogs, Suicune is my favorite. Raikou was my least favorite because Entei I loved the Pokemon movie with the Power of Unknown. Or I can't remember the title exactly, but it was the movie where some dude gets basically the unknown get released from their dimension by some researcher. His daughter dealing with being abandoned by her parents. Basically, I forget if she did not have a mother figure, and her father disappears. She had the nebulous mother parental figure died sort of. First. Oh my goodness, I just noticed the close-up of this guy's face. He is really into this battle, I think. Well, let's not belabor his enjoyment, I suppose. Let's just absolutely wipe out his Pokemon. Anyway, focusing. So I loved that movie as a kid. It was so cool. One, I thought the Unknown were really cool as a Pokemon. Like, yeah, all they can use is Hidden Power, and Hidden Power is its own can of worms, I suppose. But I thought Unknown was really cool because you had one Pokemon with 28 variants, 26 letters, and two punctuation marks. And I thought that was really cool for whatever reason. Admittedly, I don't really fully understand what that reason was, but I loved them. And they were even cooler because of how they interacted with the narrative of the movie to me. At least to me, I thought they were a lot cooler. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Celesta Betha get antidoted so she doesn't die to poison. As per our Nuzlocke rules, 3 turns of poison is the equivalent of death no matter what. And then Captain Squawk can probably work on knocking out these Clefairy. We are running out of PP on most of our Pokemon, so we'll have to use a Poke Center soon, although I'm pretty sure there's one not too far from where we currently are. I hope. I really do hope. I digress. Anyway, so Entei, because of that movie, he basically, Entei becomes the father figure to this girl. I would say honestly, that is probably my favorite movie out of all of the Pokemon movies because it's the one I remember the best. I thought the narrative behind the little girl dealing with loss particularly compelling for a Pokemon plot. You know, you don't go to Pokemon for plot most of the time. And the movies are kind of the generic cash grabs that have some cool, well-animated fights, and that's about it. But here's the thing. Not only did this movie have awesome fights, you got to see Brock, Misty, and Ash have their own individual battles, not to mention back in the day when Charizard was like the most hyped Pokemon in existence, you got to see Charizard fight Entei, and then fight against the Unknown, I believe. Again, I don't necessarily have the fullest memory of this movie, but what I do remember is I really, really, really like this movie. I also remember that Ash used his like Pokemon with Flamethrower and Water Gun to like heat and cool a metal door to break through it, which I thought, or was it Crystal Door, whatever it was. I thought that was really cool because I didn't understand how that worked at the time, but now I kind of do, and it was, I don't know, the simplicity of a kid who liked physics and science, I suppose.
I don't care if I lose. I'm still a happy guy.
Yeah, you look pretty happy, all things considered.
Wah.
Nope, not doing that. Wait, hold on.
Wah, you're too much.
Okay, he's dating Waluigi, and that's fine.
My wallet's empty after paying the prize money. No, it's okay. No need to worry. I still have my secret stash of cash.
Alright, there are still 2 more double battles, but I am going to try and keep these episodes to half an hour. Closing remarks. I think it was the 3rd Pokemon movie. We had Mewtwo Strikes Back, unless that was the sequel, I forget. And then The Power of One with Lugia. I'm pretty sure the Entei movie was the 3rd one. I love that movie. I'm gonna probably ramble about Pokemon movies soon enough, but let's call it a day for now. Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.